Looking forward with Ryan Hughes.
Ryan Hughes.
It's up to Ryno to answer this challenge.
Your leader, Ryan Hughes, 105. Hughes on the inside. Hughes on the inside, though, trying to get a run at
Ryan
him.
Hughes has got a problem with the bike. He's trying to push it to the line.
This last week in motocross has been kind of interesting because it's been the close down of outdoor, moving into super motocross, into that 3-round series into the season. You and I have both talked in some detail about our feelings and thoughts and premonitions on that whole
Leadville, Colorado. Let's do it. I'm heading to Colorado soon, so let's do that in Leadville. Gotcha.
That whole series in general and its longevity or lack thereof.
Yeah.
My thought is that also in the news this week, Eli Tomac was announced that he signed for another year with Star Yamaha.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Eli, Cooper Webb, Ken Roxon, Aaron Plessinger? I'm seeing a 450 division right now that's getting rather long in the tooth as far as age-wise, and I wanted to get your take on that.
Well, I guess with the super motocross thing, it's last year like we talked about. Last year I think the excitement was there. Something new, something cool, something this. The system brought it out to squash another series. That's the only reason.
Okay.
I don't feel like they want to keep paying for this because they're not making that money. I don't feel. But I think also the riders don't have the enthusiasm as they did maybe last year just because, like we said, just dragging out the series. You get done with the Supercross, you get done with the Nationals, it's almost like a big breath of air of like, holy shit, I made it through, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Now you're going to add 3 more that really doesn't really have any, you win the Super Motocross Championship. Whip-de-doo, it's 3 races. But the money is a whole nother deal.
Yeah.
So once I think another 3-4 years, I feel that the series might die off. But and again, like we talked about, is if the Dubai money came in, they could squash that series. They could squash the series and squash the motocross series in a second, just by putting some fuck you money out there. And
so 2 years ago, the World Supercross was created, and it was started out of a group out of Australia that started World Supercross, and they sold it to a group out of Dubai.
Yeah.
Who now own it and are running it and operating it. So that gives you kind of the idea of the Dubai money.
And I think the thing is that most people don't realize that the guy that was running the World Supercross was stealing money from it.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Always somebody has to
embezzlement.
Yeah, always. You know what I'm saying? But if they did with with the golf tour, with Live Tour,
Yep.
did at the PGA, they was offering these guys hundreds of millions of dollars. So if they come into motocross and do the same thing, offer these guys $20 million each or whatever, these guys are gone. And so with the world's the playoffs that are coming up, I don't know. Are the fans really excited to keep watching it, or do we need a little bit of a break?
I'm not seeing, because I regularly look at the attendance records because I have access to seeing some of that information. I'm not seeing blockbuster attendance. There's been a couple, like I will say that Red Bud had a really decent attendance record.
Yeah.
Millville did, and Unadilla did.
Yeah.
But the rest of the series hasn't had really good attendance records.
Yeah, and I guess it's also the heritage of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and also the accessibility of getting in and getting out. You know what I mean. That's why Paula is never anybody there.
Yeah,
it's like 1,000 people, I think, just because the way in and way out there's only one way, and it's like screw that.
Yeah.
I get there early and I leave after first motos. Yeah, because I will not get stuck in that traffic. So, but the thing is just that these. Who knows if the playoffs are going to be around for any more years? I don't feel that they will. I feel that everybody's going to that ship will sail.
Okay.
And if the World Supercross comes in and really wants to make a dent, they need to fork up some money, and then they could squash the Nationals in a second.
Okay.
Supercross in America, no, but again, we need to make this a global sport. That's why, like we say, NASCAR is only known in America.
Yeah.
That's it, because it doesn't go global. F1's global, MotoGP is global, golf is global, tennis is global. There's things that are global.
Yeah.
Right? And so it would be very easy to do that, and I think we need to do something with the sport because it's not really, progressing or changing or getting, more popular with with participants.
You seem more
With
more,
viewers, yes, but
Yeah.
not participants.
You seem more optimistic about Supercross than outdoor. I am a little bit hesitant on Supercross, and I'll tell you why. Feld Entertainment doesn't endear me very much. I'm not saying bad things about them. I'm just saying I don't see them really doing a lot for the sport. Unlike where I will say this, kind of odd that I say this, Clear Channel, when they owned Supercross, they put a bunch of money into Supercross. They really blew it up. And Feld seems to really be kind of just business as usual, keeping it tight.
As long as we make our money. Same with the system that runs the other stuff. You know, it's just as long as they make their money, as long as they make their quota.
Yep.
You know what I mean? When their quota doesn't get made, then they'll just charge everybody more money. You know what I mean? Screw everybody else. But, you know, for me, I feel like the World Supercross, they're hungry.
Yeah.
They're hungry. So if you're hungry, you can make things happen very quickly from people that are overfed.
Definitely.
You know, these people are they're eating McDonald's, you know, they're just happy with their Happy Meal, happy with their Big Mac. Well, you don't have that. You got chips and salsa. So, you know, now it's time to come in and really make a bang. And if they brought in some of that Dubai money, they could change. They could put this sport up on its head. You know what I mean? And especially with, you know, with things that are happening, like we talked about with KTM and stuff that way, with the struggles there.
In a hypothetical world, where would you tour? Like if it were Ryan's tour for World Supercross, what markets do you think are target markets? Because right now they're just doing, I think, London, Paris, Sydney, Australia, and Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely put probably 4. You know, just I'd put 4 or 5 in America because it's so big.
Okay.
You know, on coast to coast to coast to coast. I mean, you could go Anaheim, you could go Dallas, you could go Minneapolis, you could go Florida, and then you could go New York.
Okay.
Right. So you're hitting boom, 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 boom. Right. You're hitting that. Definitely Australia.
Okay.
Because it's a big market, a couple there. Then you could have, you know, Europe, 1, 2, or 3 there. Barcelona, Paris, UK. You know, something like that. Maybe even, again, I don't know why they wouldn't have one in the Netherlands when they have some of the best racers in the world there.
Okay,
right?
so
With
you're talking
hurlings
like
and stuff
maybe
like that.
13 or 14 rounds.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Okay.
You have to. And then you get into South America, maybe a couple, into, you know, like Brazil or whatever that way. And then you get into, you know, like the Asian countries.
Okay.
Philippines, this, that. People with some big money down there that bring that in there. So, yeah, you could have a 15-race series very easily around the world. Very easily. And so I think that could be the future of the sport.
Okay.
And just because, you know, how do we progress? You know, to me, sometimes things are getting a little bit stale. I also think the 450s are a little bit too big for the stadiums. You know, they're just too powerful, and doesn't make the racing as tight and as exciting as even like the 250s or back in the two-stroke days. And that's not meaning change the bike, but just like, you know, I don't know. Just there's things that need to progress, things that need to change. Just like F1 changes engine, this, that. MotoGP's changing engine and different things too. Well, motocross needs to kind of maybe do the same thing, just to make it where it fits into where things are happening.
Like a 350 class?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a 350 class, you know, or just everybody rides 250s. You know, I mean, damn.
Okay.
I don't know.
By the way,
I'm not here to change. I'm not here to change the, you know, to tell you how to re-spoke your wheel. I just think that progression is good. I think change is a little bit good. I think, you know, to get the people that are sleeping right now that run the sport to wake up a little bit, because they need to be poked, they need to be challenged, because I'm sure the PGA now does things a little bit differently now that the Live Tour came in and put it on its head. You know what I mean?
So you hit on something that was very interesting right there, and that's the 250 class, because Ken Roxon recently, for his last 2 rounds, he has been riding a 250 again. Yeah. Does that, I mean, as a 450 rider, you know, going back to 250s, what are your thoughts on that?
Like we talked the last episode or whatever, I think it's just for fun. It's just something different, something for him, a challenge. He wasn't in the points. You know, he wasn't in the points. He wasn't in anything in the outdoors. So why not do something that's a little bit of a challenge, something that's a little bit, that kind of gets your wiener hard. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so But as you see, he's having some health problems. So now you go back to your other question about, Eli and Cooper and all these guys getting older and older. Well, with Eli, if he didn't have the last 2 years that he did, he would be already done. I feel he'd retire.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If he won the Supercross championship and then he retire. But the last 2 years has just kind of been a struggle. So, excuse me, he hasn't been able to finish the year off like he's wanted to.
Okay.
Right? And so that's why I feel that he's coming back one more year, is to have a solid year, a full year, and see if he can kind of get back what he missed out on a little bit. Cooper, same thing, just, hey, he's still there. He almost won the championship again this year, so why retire? But after another couple years, that thrill, that motivation, that willingness is going to go away. Rock's in health problems just from all his surgeries and injuries, which just happens. And so that's going to start getting very tiresome too. And you're going to start seeing him probably just go to, like, say, this World Supercross thing where 5-6 races, makes a shit ton of money, doesn't have to be that fit guy all year long, type of thing. And then, but yeah, that class is going to age out here shortly. And it's going to be a very boring class with just Jet and Sexton, and nobody else can even battle with these guys. The only person that I see coming to be able to do anything with those guys in the next probably 3-4 years is Deegan.
Okay.
Nobody else in that class. Nobody else. I don't see anybody else in that 250 class even coming close to those guys at that 450 class or what Deegan can do. And it's just because, like I say, someone had the perfect analogy of Deegan. He rides like he came from nothing.
Okay. Hungry.
He rides like he came from nothing, and that it shows. I mean, you can think whatever you want about him and whatever about his dad or whatever, but you can't deny that kid fucking goes, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not afraid of failure.
He wins.
He's not afraid of failure. He's not afraid to put it on the edge. He's not afraid to, to do these things. And I have to applaud that. I applaud that. I really do, because everybody else is so in their protection mode, in their what if, what could, what might. They're preparing for something that hasn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? They're trying to make sure they say the right words and look the right thing and have the right haircut. And he's saying whatever the hell he wants to say. He's doing what he wants to do, and that's called confidence. That's called trust. That's called, this is what I do, not what if, what could, and I'm doing it because of this, and I don't want to make this person mad and whatever. Well, now you're limiting yourself. You're putting handcuffs on yourself. You're suffocating yourself. And he's the only one out there that doesn't look suffocated to me. Right?
I'm with you on that. I think that he has a very strong future in the 450 division, whereas
nope, son, too tucked. He needs to get those hips out if he's going to rock that 450.
Whereas I look at a guy like Hunter Lawrence right now, and I think he moved into 450s too prematurely.
I wouldn't say he moved in too prematurely, because he's young. He's older than his brother is.
Yeah,
he just does. I just don't think that he has what his brother has. But you can't say that he moved in it too early if he almost won the championship this year in the outdoors.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It takes time to get to that point. He made it all the way through the year.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Somebody that gets into the series too quick is somebody that's going to get hurt like 3 races in because he overrode. And this and this, and then just kind of struggle. I think, let's say maybe I can't even remember his name, but anyways, 31 or whatever on the Yamaha. I don't know, whatever. But maybe he got in there a little bit too soon, just because he pointed out. So some people maybe get in there a little bit. Justin Cooper. Maybe just because he pointed out. I think another year, 250, then got to 450. Then, not like he did bad this year, but he just kind of got thrown in there because he pointed out, right? And so Hunter, again, he won the outdoor, he won the Supercross. So what's the next step? Move up. And you're already, 25 years old or whatever you are. So it's time to move up. Yeah,
he is definitely a strong enough rider to move up.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about KTM kind of imploding and having a massive financial issues, and it brought me to the thought of Justin Barcia.
Yeah.
He had another year in his contract with Gas.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I hear KTM has some big issues.
Yeah.
I hear KTM's or Husqvarna's not even having a team next year,
That is true.
and I hear Gas is pretty much out also. I don't know.
And that gets Mookie's out then.
Yeah, well, I don't know. This is what I hear. So
Okay.
this is what I hear, and I don't. I'll know when I show up to Anaheim, because other than that, I'm probably not even going to know because I don't follow it that closely. All the nuts and bolts about motocross I don't really follow because, but the technique and the racing is what I follow, and so that could put a wrench in the program. But these other companies could be licking their chops that are coming up, like a Triumph and a Ducati.
Yeah.
Because again, if you have the pick of Barcia and the pick of Mookie and all these things now when you come to the 450 class, well, But the other thing is going to hurt a lot of people's careers, a lot of people's futures if they don't have rides, because again, now there's 2 less factory teams.
Yep.
And if you have to go to a B team in the 250 class, you aren't winning.
No.
You are not winning.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
give a shit what you say. You're not winning. The bikes are not good enough.
Club MX isn't going to get there.
Yeah, maybe a race here, maybe a race there, but not.
Not a full season.
Just those bikes are so damn good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
450, maybe a different story. But I don't know. We'll see. It's an interesting thing. I didn't know KTM was in such a financial issue until what I've heard, and so it could make a big change in the sport. But I think you're going to see a change shortly. But that's how it always is. Every year, after a while, people drop off, new people come up. But what I'm saying, with the guys that are in the 450 class with the Jet and the Sexton, they're so damn good. They're so damn dominant that it's going to take somebody at that level to challenge those guys because they're still young. Jet's not any younger. He's younger than probably half the 250 class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for somebody to come up and challenge that, man, you gotta have your shit together. And so the only person that I see right now
Deegan.
that can do it is Deegan.
Yeah.
Again, and if you say that, because again, the last moto of the year, he won by 20 seconds after passing everybody and just dropping their asses.
Yeah.
I think the other guys, their technique isn't sound enough. Their technique isn't sound enough, and I think the other guys are a little bit too soft.
I was going to say, and his only other competitor there was Joe Shimoda, and Joe was out on injury with a broken collarbone.
And I think Joe's too soft. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My 2 cents.
I would say watching.
2 cents.
Yeah, I get it. Watching Joe Shimoda come in from his entrance into the United States up into where he is today, I can say he has definitely earned an MVP status on growth because he has really advanced his riding.
No, and I've seen the kid from an 80, because he was always at Paula. So I love watching the guy ride. He's so soft.
Yeah.
He's so
Precise.
smooth, so precise. I love watching him ride, but he just doesn't have that toughness in him, and that's what holds him back even in the 250 class. And he doesn't have that born-in confidence.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of these guys, they ride like they came from something.
Yep.
Like they had a lot of money, that they don't have to worry about it. Like Deegan had everything, and he rides like he's on his last paycheck.
Yeah, he rides like he's busted out.
Yeah, and it's
But that's what you want. You want a rider with that hunger.
That's the only way to be able to get to that level. You know what I mean? Unless you just have an amazing talent like Jet, or a talent and a fitness like Sexton.
With a guy like Deegan and a guy like Jet Lawrence and even Sexton, and then you've got a really good seasoned veteran like
show some love,
Eli Tomac. Where do you see Eli kind of coming into that whole mixture? I mean, he can win a race or even a championship, but I just don't see Eli having the dominance because of his age and where he's at.
I think Eli will win a race, some races here and there, but I don't think that he'll win. That he's going to beat. He's going to win a championship.
Okay.
The only way you win a championship if other people have problems, bike crash, injury, whatever.
All right.
It's just again a little bit older. Couple injuries. Not that they're fearful injuries, but it can kind of start getting in your head that just don't get hurt.
Yep.
Okay, don't get hurt. 3 kids, enough money.
Yep.
Already kind of got something going, some car racing.
I heard he wanted to go racing for Porsche.
Yeah, well, damn, I would. Yeah, hell yeah. If I had a chance to go race for Porsche, I'd be fucking race for Porsche. Right? So, yeah, I applaud him on that, too. Right? I applaud him on that, too. And, but again, he would already be racing for Porsche or going down that road if he'd already won that championship. Yeah. But just the last 2 years, as being a competitor that he is, he wants to leave on a good note. And maybe not even win I would like to win a championship, but just let me finish out a season clean, good, give everything I have. Okay, now I can accept that. I'm past my
closure.
I'm past my level, or my window. So it's time to put it to bed. But if you don't ever have that full season, that chance, then there's always that what if, what could, only if, and then that keeps bringing you back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, to have him there, it only makes it more exciting, because Eli's a badass. And Eli,
in Supercross,
he's a badass.
Eli is one of the most well-rounded riders I've ever seen in my life when it comes to outdoor and Supercross. He can do both, and he can do both very well. Unlike a guy like Dylan Ferrandis, who was dominant on outdoors first 2 years.
I just don't know what happened. Oh, we have a call?
You got a call right there.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, third line.
We're going to do this one. Let's make a call. Did we get it?
Nope. You got it. One more down.
Oh, I don't know how to count. There we go. We got it? No?
Nope.
This one off? There we go. This one? Hello? No?
Up. Hello?
No? I don't know, dude. How do you fucking do this stuff? This one? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, see, I can ride a motorcycle, maybe. And I can maybe talk on the radio, maybe, but I cannot answer calls. So, it's the first step. What's going on, bud? Who's this?
Austin.
Austin?
Yes, sir.
Austin who?
I wish Faulkner, but...
Austin Faulkner. What's happening then? No. Austin who? Where are you from, man?
Where you from?
Modesto, California.
All right. Good. What's your question, my friend?
I don't know if you addressed it or not yet, but what's your thoughts on Hayden not going to the Motocross of Nations?
You know what? I just saw that he wasn't picked. I mean, he was picked, but he didn't decide to go. So I don't know. Like I say, I don't follow the nuts and bolts in motocross about he said, she said, I need to take a vacation, my fingernails hurt, whatever it is. So I don't know what his reasoning of not going, but I don't agree with it. I mean, if he has an injury, if he has something like that, then cool, I get it. But this race, the Motocross of Nation, and it's history. It's history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's history. And so if you did not grow up watching it, loving it, being a fan of it, being obsessed with the stripes on the guys' helmets and seeing Osho and Wardy and and Emig and Carmichael and Kadraus and all these guys battling for their country, and you don't go and you pull out, I don't applaud that. I think that's a little bit of a slap in the face to American motocross and also motocross. But again, I don't know the reasons, so I can't say why. But if it's just because I don't want to go and that you're losing, I think you're taking away a big...
Is it a prestige thing, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're taking away a big, it's a big memory in your book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a chapter in your book. To be able to say, hey, I went to the Motocross of Nations and I won the damn thing. I got to do that, and that's pretty damn cool. You know what I mean? And that was one of my goals my whole life, was to go to the Motocross of Nations. So once they offered me that idea, I said, damn, put me on the team. You have to ride a 500. I said, I don't care.
I don't care.
And whatever. So I don't know why he's not going. I don't applaud it, but, so be it. So be it.
Right on. Thanks, Austin.
Do you know why he's not going?
On Instagram, I think it said he had to get some hardware out of his wrist.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's then I understand that.
Medical.
Yeah, I understand that. Then he has a legitimate reason to not do it, and so then he's in the right. You got to do it because you got to get prepared for the next year with the 90 races that they're putting on the calendar, and you can't come into it hurt. You can't come into it banged up. So he's in the right for that. Definitely.
Thanks, Austin.
Wait, yeah.
All right, buddy. Take care, bud. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Nice. Look at that. You got people calling in.
Yeah, we got one person calling in. Hey, next time I'll be able to get the phone right. Did I need to hang this thing up too?
So you got the little dot there at the bottom. At the very bottom, you'll see a dot.
I should know that a dot.
You see where the air? You see where the? Yep, there
you
you go.
Okay.
And then and on this one.
Hey, Billy Frank. So Billy Frank, I used to watch him Supercross. Do you remember Billy Frank?
I do remember Billy Frank.
Yeah, Supercross like that, and I remember coming up, I got a chance. He was riding for CTI Innovation Sports or whatever. I got to ride with him out here. I think probably just out here, Ritchie Canyon,
right by the radio station.
Where we had with all these tracks everywhere. So I remember growing up him and being able to ride with him, and he was kind of with like the superstars there. So
nice.
Yeah.
Who all do you have on the Instagram tonight?
Excuse me, what?
Who all do you have on the Instagram tonight?
Oh, I don't know. So I'm paying attention, but not paying attention a little bit.
Got it.
Here and there, they come across. I got a few guys. There's Dave Dookie.
Nice.
You talk, I listen. Well, thanks, my friend.
Sweet.
If you share, you care, and if you care, you share. Right? That's the way I look at it.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, Billy Frank. Yeah, another one. Yeah.
So, back to what we were talking about with Eli.
Yep.
And being seasoned in this. There is a lot of risk that goes into trying to win one of these series. There's a lot of risk that goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about it, you're on your last ride every day.
That is exactly
You're
it.
on your last ride every day because you have no idea what's going to happen. Just like we talked about, looking at Road to Recovery.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit, man. This person is deceased, injury, paralyzed. It's like, whoa. And people don't realize that. And that's where I would like to kind of come into our sport. And maybe that's a little bit of my role is coming in and raising more money, raising more awareness, raising more care, raising more, ability for riders that are hurt, riders that can't ride anymore, that, the sport got ripped away from them, that are in, a situation that they can't, walk and all these things, or families that have lost somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we gotta do something. I mean, because this doesn't just happen every once in a while. It happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
Yeah.
And so it's like we gotta do something instead of just having this little. Road to Recovery has done amazing.
Laurie Amistad runs a pretty tight ship over there. I have to say.
No, and the Buttons they do a good job there.
Yeah.
And so, but we got to do more than that. This company's done one thing, but it's one company, and we should have a lot more than just the money that they've raised. I mean, it should be hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, again, it's from around the world. So, and so I think that there could be some room in there to make this thing grow, so riders do have something that kind of have that block mark, I guess.
I'm smelling an interview between you and Lori one afternoon.
Huh?
I'm smelling an interview between you and Lori one afternoon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or me and Jimmy.
Grab your microphone.
Oh.
You're not starting line.
There we go. Yeah, dude. I didn't have my bike started.
Yeah. Your
Holy
bike.
shit.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Throw that leg over quick.
Yeah, I got to hurry up.
All right.
I was on a Suzuki, man. I was busy kickstarting it.
Yeah, well, the kickstart Kenny, man.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. 866-49-244-49.
Yeah. 866-492-4449 is the line. Call in. Get on the radio, man. When's the last time anybody was on the radio? Huh?
Exactly.
I mean, these people don't even know what the fucking radio is, probably.
You know what's funny, though?
What?
We will solicit for phone calls on the show to get people to call. And then we will do the entire show and maybe get 2, 3, 4, 5 phone calls, whatever. Then you'll leave and the radio station will be going and I will be sitting in my office.
Mario, this dude's badass, too.
And
I got to tell you a story about this guy.
You got Swink on earlier.
Well, this Mario, dude.
So,
crazy.
Anyway.
Love you, man.
3 or 4 people will call and look for you when you're not even on the air.
Well, I know. They're
I'm thinking
they're a little bit late.
I was going to say,
maybe they've been smoking something that makes them a little bit, kind of like, hey, man.
Yeah.
What day is it? What time is it? I don't know, bro. Hey, but maybe we can call Ryno. Yeah.
Exactly. So they at least know you're here.
Yeah.
They just don't know when proximity you're here.
Yeah.
So anyway, you were talking about people online right there.
Yeah. Oh.
You got Swink right there.
Yeah, I had Swink's son.
Oh, Swink's son.
Swink's son. Yeah. How's that, huh?
You talk about one hell of a rider back in the day.
Dude, Swink was badass, man.
Back in the
Dude, he was good.
He was
good, yeah.
He was insane.
But yeah, so there's one, my buddy Mario, he was one of the he was one of the top up-and-coming road racers, you know?
Okay.
16 years old, 17 years old, had contracts from Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, all this, right?
Okay.
The kid is just the days that you think, oh, I have a bad day or poor me, you just go hit yourself in the face when you have that after hanging out with this guy. So 16, 17 years old, and his dad, he's riding bicycles and BMX stuff, and his dad's like, hey, man, I think we should maybe cool out on this bicycle stuff, you know, because you got these contracts and stuff. And he's like, yeah, Dad, whatever, you know. So he went out and rode his bicycle and clipped a jump, boom, land on his head, quad.
Oh,
rest of his life. His hands like this. But, dude, the dude drives rally cars. No, he drives rally cars.
Can't hold him back.
He does all this stuff. He designed his own steering wheel.
Yeah.
Comes to my gym. I kind of helped him and trained him a bit.
Yep.
You know, for what we could do, and come there and just work his ass off. I mean, dude, such amazing
Can't
kid.
keep him down.
Such an amazing heart, and so just the people that have come into my life that have these stories and things like that, just make you feel like,
That's one thing.
How blessed you are, but also how much of a complainer we are.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? We're just a bunch of pussies, kind of, compared to when some people come in your life. You're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm a pussy. Just like not because you're tough. It's just because of the things that you let kind of
bother you,
get under you and your skin, and rub you the wrong way, and poor me's and all this. And it's just I only can imagine. And these guys just keep going and going and going and going. And so I've been blessed with a lot of cool people that have come through my life that way. So
nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting in motocross because you run across a lot of guys who have those really strong injuries, and yet they will not put it down. I have somebody in my family that way.
Yeah.
Who basically used to be a Honda test rider.
Yeah.
And went down, and he's wheelchair bound, just like Mitch. They get their vans at the same place.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. He came over to my shop one day in his wheelchair, and he's wheeling up. And you've seen all my bikes in the shop. He wheels over and he goes, what's it going to take to get me on one of those?
I guess once you get to that point, you're like, well, how else could I get, right?
Exactly.
But again, it's like, what do? You say, you throw in the blanket, or you keep going.
You keep going.
And again, somebody that has that mentality to be a racer has that ability to fight, has that ability to keep going, has that ability to challenge themselves, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you see like Doug Henry and stuff like that.
Yep.
Still rides and things that way. Doug follows me, and we're friends and things like that. So I admire people like that. I was very blessed to not have those situations because I experienced that 4 times of being paralyzed, and I have issues in my body now. But yeah, I was blessed to walk away from that.
So I asked Justin Barcia this question, and I'll ask it to you because you guys have a lot of the same life experiences. Do you carry a card that says you have metal in your body when you get in an airplane?
No, I don't carry. Okay. I carry a card of watch out. No,
watch out.
I'm fucked up.
Watch out. I'm a hot mess.
Yeah, watch out. No, you don't have to carry a card, and a lot of times nothing goes off. It's like surgical steel. It's like surgical steel, right? Or titanium or whatever. So sometimes in the things, stuff will go off or whatever, and just like, I got a bunch of metal, but there's never really been an issue.
Okay.
When they give you the wand, kind of.
Yeah.
Like ding, 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 ding. I'm like, I got there, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This has still got screws in it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Mario. Keep them spinning. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you had Swink on earlier. On
his son.
His son. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, because Swink passed away.
Okay, but does his son ride?
I don't know. I don't know if his son rides. He had a little picture of, it looked like it's a jersey on there, but I don't know. Yeah, if you're still following me, Max, do you ride? I don't know. I would imagine. I mean, damn,
Well,
I would imagine. But, it's kind of funny that you see a lot of racers, ex-racers, and their kids don't ride. They don't ride motorcycles. They don't ride anything, My son raced mountain bikes and was really good at it. Was professional at it, this and that, just loved mountain bikes.
Okay.
But now, went to school and all that because the mountain bike scene doesn't really have much money in it. So now he's studying to be a mechanical engineer and in Colorado. So
now, didn't Eli Tomac's dad?
Yeah.
John Tomac?
Eli Tomac's Johnny T. Yeah, he's a legend in the mountain bike world. Absolute legend, world champion, all these different things. So he has that racing background, and that's what helps anybody that comes up into racing to get their kid to kind of like forge forward very quickly, is because they have that mentality. They know how to go through it. They know how the mindset, blah, 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 blah. So that's why you've seen Deegans, you've seen Everts, you've seen, different people kind of do that, but then also can add more pressure too.
Okay.
It can add, I guess with Deegan, his dad wasn't really that good, but so he didn't have the pressure to be as good as his dad. But like Liam Everts,
yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You got a 3-time world champion granddad,
yeah,
and you got the 10-time world championship dad.
Yeah.
That's a lot to.
You're not gonna fill those shoes.
That's a lot to fill. Those aren't just shoes; those are damn like cowboy boots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big ones.
And yeah, so but other people, it's a little bit of a struggle,
okay.
And so yeah.
Right. The reason why I asked all of that was because of the fact that the mountain biking community seems to have been the dictation now for what has become motocross. As far as a lot of the same style, a lot of the same training, prospects, a lot of the same riding areas.
With mountain biking, the technique's a technique.
Yep.
The technique changed. I used to coach. I used to coach Aaron Gwynn.
Okay.
So Aaron Gwynn came to my gym. We coached and we talked. He used to wear a neck brace, and that was back 2009, 2010. And Johnny T was coaching him, and so he wanted him to come to me and do the gym and all that stuff, like with Eli. And I started talking about technique. You got to take the brace off, this and this.
Yeah.
And he transformed the way everybody rides a mountain bike. Because I was talking about, hey, you got to make sure that back is straight and those hips are out. So now if you look at the World Cup downhill mountain biking, everybody, is riding like a supercross racer, straight back, hips out, elbows up. You know what I mean? It's just you can't ride a two-wheel apparatus, vehicle, or mountain bike in a different position. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible. So that's the thing, is that's where Aaron Plessinger goes wrong still. He tucks a lot. He rounds a lot.
Okay.
He hasn't rotated those hips out. So that's why he's not at that next level of speed. It's plain and simple. Plain and simple. Because if you saw the whatever that was, the almost crash thing they have every year or every week, and that was like last weekend.
Yep.
He got sideways. Well, look what happened to his body. His body was locked up. So when that bike went sideways, it threw his whole body.
Yeah.
If that happened to Jet, it wouldn't have happened because just his lower body would have moved. His upper body would have stayed. Sexton, it wouldn't happen to. Deegan, it wouldn't happen to. But with Plessinger being more flat-footed, butt-tucked, back-rounded, his whole body moved, so it threw. It took his whole body. It didn't just move half of it.
Now, why
does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. But why would he not adapt to that style?
Because he's not having, maybe doesn't have anybody in his corner that is pinpointing that all the time. And showing him that is his weakness. His weakness isn't his talent. His weakness isn't his ability to go fast. His weakness isn't his training.
Okay.
His weakness isn't his mind. His weakness is his imbalance in his body, and that's from the back to the hips. Well, actually just the hips, because if I round my hip, if I tuck my butt, my shoulders round. If I bring my shoulders up, my hips come out.
Now
there's a link to it. So that is what's missing on him. So his feet has gotten better. His technique's gotten better. Because if you look 2 years ago, he was very sloppy. All kind of on the back of the body, this and this. And it works for a 250F. It can.
Yeah.
So somebody put on this that Kitchens is going to be one of the next 450 guys. He won't be a 450 top guy unless he takes he untucks his butt. Because you're riding a faster bike, heavier bike, more inertia, more speed.
Yep.
Okay, so you have to adopt that technique. You have to adopt that style, and that's what's been missing with Aaron. It's like if I could work with this guy, I could transform him. Nowhere else. I wouldn't just let me focus on your fucking weakness, and that's your hips, and your whole system would change, guaranteed. Because now you are matching the motorcycle. You have separation in the body, just like the motorcycle has separation. But it was pretty prominent when he saw that save thing that they do every year or every week. I forget what it is. But he got sideways and he tucked up, and it took his whole body, and it threw the bike and him off the track. But a Jet would have his upper body would have stayed there, a Sexton, a Deegan, and the back end would have probably gone sideways, but his upper body would have been still pointing in the direction that I wanted to go. So you're going to end up in a better position. But once I tuck and my upper body goes a different direction than where I want to go, I'm going to take that motorcycle with it.
Yeah, you're going to go.
You're going to end up in the wrong position. So start out in a good position, end up in a good position. Start out in a bad position, end up in a bad position, no matter how big or small the mistake or bobble is.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. It's just like a motorcycle. Set it up incorrectly, that motorcycle is not going to work correctly.
That is correct.
You set it up right, well, motorcycle is going to work the way you want. So now when you hit stuff, you're not going to be affected as much. It's going to be less than if it was set up incorrectly. You're going to magnify everything. So you magnify problems when your technique isn't as sound.
100%.
Yeah.
150%.
I don't need to breathe, brother.
Wow. Breathing.
I know he said don't stop breathing. Fucking why would I stop breathing? I just keep talking.
I just go. I'm motoing.
Dude, I'm not. Yeah, come on, man. You know how fit I am.
Finishing this up.
Yeah.
Now, here's another good question for you. Just as a matter of opinion. But you mentioned something earlier about kickstarting, and I thought this is a good question to ask Ryan.
Yeah.
Kickstarters versus electric starters. I'd love to hear your take on that, because part of racing in the old days was being able to kick your bike and keep it running, and there was a time element to that as opposed to just pressing a button and going.
Well, when the electric starts came out, I was like, what the hell are you bringing this old school or this old person electric start shit on, you know? But once I was doing a bunch of schools and this, and someone, I'd ride people's bikes. A lot of time I'd go places without my bike and just bring my gear and go, and I would just ride everybody's bike and do sections and things like that, and then come back and say, hey, fix this, change that, adjust this, that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then everybody saw that I could do it on any bike. But so once that happened, I'd say, no, nobody bring me a kickstart. I need an electric start, you know? So I got lazy too, you know what I mean? But yeah, the electric start's the way to go.
Yeah, okay.
That kickstart, just like, dude, I've hurt my foot so many times, with that. But
funny to see Ken Roxon make it into like a little gimmick, and he's got it on the back of his helmet. Kickstart Kenny.
Yeah.
With the Suzuki. And by the way, he's done amazing things for Suzuki in their platform.
Yeah, I mean, he's done amazing things for Suzuki, but that don't really make any bikes. They don't produce any bikes, so to speak. I mean, they produce bikes, but they're not making any upgrades on them. Right?
Yeah. Now
I don't know when they're going to, but
is that because of his relationship with Mitch? And Mitch is just kind of, because the Suzuki is really just a Kawasaki that's got yellow plastics.
I don't think it's a relationship. I just think that it was just a good fit.
Okay.
A good fit. The team, he could do his own thing. There wasn't that factory pressure. We got some good money. Actually, also maybe not as much pressure because I'm on a Suzuki.
Yeah, true.
Kind of only got a built-in excuse. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I didn't win because I'm on the yellow bike.
Suzuki. That's why I'm not winning. So, but no, I just think it just fit. I just fit what he was doing. I just fit what he was doing. So, yeah. And again, anybody could get on that bike and do good on it. Win all the time on it. I think maybe a Jet could probably win more because he's faster than Kenny right now. So I don't think that bike is, is not able to win a championship. But it's getting to a point where it only works maybe really good in certain tracks and certain conditions, and then other ones it doesn't struggle, but just doesn't have that progression and technology to make it, even better in these situations or sections or tracks.
So when was Suzuki a dominant player?
Well, Suzuki's been a dominant player since they came out. I think they had a little bit of a struggle in the early 90s, 96, 97, 98. Then they started dominating again with Carmichael and Dungey and Stewart, and then all of a sudden they just stopped making bikes. You know what I mean? Just kind of stopped making bikes, and so who knows, All
right. Yeah. It's just funny to me because I remember back in the day, Suzuki was a dominant force.
Yeah, Suzuki was badass. I mean, when I was growing up, Suzuki was, the Scott Burnsworth and Hanna and Osho and, they had all the guys, the Bomber, I mean, it was Suzuki was cool.
They were cool.
Yeah, they were a good deal.
Now they're not so much. I don't want to put the pit card out for you too close as you're making another lap, but you're only got about a lap left.
I only got one more lap left. What time is it? Oh shit!
Yeah, you only got a lap
already.
Left. Yeah,
it's already been an hour. Okay, so I only got one more lap left. So we got to have one more. I don't know.
So 866-49-244-49.
Yep, that's the call. Call in. I guess they just want to listen to me this way. But one more thing, I guess, my thing I was going to put out to everybody today, or whatever, is just like, in life and in motocross, one of the biggest things that I see people do is they're preparing for what hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
They really do. They're scared of something that hasn't happened yet. And I see that with a lot of riders I work with and stuff like that, and people in life. It's like, stop preparing and being ready for something that hasn't happened yet. Go about things like you're going to win it.
Yep.
Go about things like you're going to achieve it. Go about things like you're going to own it. Go about things like it's already yours. Stop doubting yourself and preparing for what hasn't happened yet. Now, if it starts to go incorrectly, doesn't go the way you want, then react to it. But don't already prepare for what hasn't happened, because then you're going to be reacting to anything that happens because you're on the back foot. You're defensive.
Yeah.
You're not offensive. And so that's the biggest thing that I can tell people that are listening for motocross and in life, and stop preparing for something that hasn't happened yet.
Now, you have a clinic coming up.
Stop bringing the past into the present.
You have a clinic coming up.
I have a clinic. Yes, I do. It's coming up September 7th and 8th,
Okay.
I think, in Colorado.
Okay.
I'm going to make a road trip through Colorado because I got some really good road trip. Going to take my woman there, and I got some hot springs and different things. I passed through Cortez by Eli's. I stop, I say hello, hang out with him, and then go through there. And then I was going to go through and do it at Thunder Valley.
Okay.
So we're going to have a little class that way, and then I roll through and see my son and a couple other places. So I love road trips, so if I can get on the road and do a school, then it's always cool, I even had a guy here from Leadville, Colorado. Yeah, maybe I'll stop in Leadville and do a school too. So just give me a hit up or something like that,
And what is a good way to reach you if people want to be a part of all this?
Yeah, therynoinstitute.com.
Okay.
That's one, or you can go to Elevate.
Okay.
The app Elevate.
Elevate.
They're with me doing that also.
Okay.
And so that's a good way to get signed up, learn about what's going on, learn about my retreats that I'm doing at my place where I train people one-on-one. They go through my lifestyle. I take them training. They eat the food that I eat. We do the training that we do, the ice bath, the sauna, the riding, the technique. We live off grid. You tune into nature again instead of being, bombarded by society. And so that's where I'm changing my way instead of going to the track all the time and training a bunch of guys, making it where I coach one person but more of a lifestyle. So we're hitting every spoke of the wheel, not just one. Because if you want your wheel to be true, you got to hit every spoke with the same torque.
Yep.
And that's the same with your life. You got to hit every point of your life with the same torque. Nothing too much, nothing too little. Don't have too much fun, but don't be too strict also.
And on that note, guess what?
We're done.
Checkered flag.
Checkered flag, baby. We just did some whips.
This has been Looking Forward with Ryan Hughes on Big 49.